Good morning, beloveds. Just fussing with the camera angle. It's Monday. I like Mondays. I enjoy Mondays. I don't have that Sunday problem of, oh God, Mondays come. Yeah, I enjoy Mondays. I think it stems from back when I used to go to the gym on Mondays. And I work with a good crew on Mondays, so Mondays are good. I hope your Monday is going well. It wasn't supposed to be, there was no rain in the forecast, and yet when we got out to go for a walk, it was misting rather heavily. So I don't know what the weather's going to be like today, other than it's supposed to be a little cooler than it was yesterday. So, all right. It is February 5th. Our title is The Science of Spirit. Our author is Malinda, Elliott, Cramer. This is from 1890, and this was published in The Present at the Beginning in 2014. So it was written in 1890 and then published in 2014. I believe Malinda Elliott Cramer is Divine Science, but I could be wrong. So please feel free to look her up. All right, the science of spirit. We teach the science of spirit, being or God in creation. Science is exact knowledge, and knowledge is a certain perception of truth, and truth is unalterable principle. So there can be no science that is not based on unchanging principle. Nor can we have knowledge but of that which is exact or unchanging truth. Therefore, it is true that science or knowledge is a perception of first and final truth, which is God or principle. That which is highest, first, and from which everything proceeds is principle, as in the science of mathematics. The principle is the highest and first, and it is that from which all problems and examples proceed. So, the science of spirit or goodness is principle, is highest and first, and that from which all creation, visible and invisible, proceeds. A mathematical demonstration is one which accords with unchanging truth and principle. Therefore, it is true that there is an unchanging truth and principle underlying all mathematical demonstration. A correct solution and a truthful conclusion of the problem of life and harmonious expression are those that are in exact accord with the Spirit of God or goodness. Therefore, it is true that there is the Spirit of God or goodness underlying all correct, truthful solutions or conclusions and harmonious expression. There is but one infinite, there is but one method of a demonstration, one law of expression or creation. We begin our reasoning from the abstract to the concrete, from the invisible principle to the visible example, from being to visible forms, by which method only are we sure of a correct solution to the problem of life, and we are certain if we commence where all things commence. We shall work in unison with God and work as the all works. Occasionally you read those things and then you want to throw the book across the room. I took this terrible class in college, and it was required. It was called logic, and it's basically math with letters. And that's what that sounded like to me. That sounded like logic. It's basically you start here, and then it's like, all right, this is the truth, and you work your way down from the truth. And so if you are following the correct formula, then you should get the correct results. That is what that sounded like. So basically, if I'm going to break down what she said, because she said it in the very last line. She said it in the very last line. If we commence where all things commence, we shall work in unison with God and work as the all works. Okay. And that's not even the last line. That's the last part of the last line. If we start with God and we work the way God does, then we should get the results that God does. Okay? What? All right? So, whatever you're working on, whatever problem that you have, you go to principle. You go to the source. You go to the divine. And you start there. And there, your problem, whatever the problem is that you are working on, does not exist. Because problems don't exist there. And then you work your way logically back to whatever it is that you're working on. Starting there, you work your way back through. And by the time you get to where you are, you have your solution. Because you were working it the way God would work it by not seeing the problem. Therefore, you are working from a solution-oriented mindset. I'm not sure that made any more sense than what she said. And I'll be honest with you, I have a double minor in math. Okay, why do I have a double minor in math? Because I thought I was going to be a mechanical engineer. When I went to school, I was interested in nanotechnology. I wanted to create tiny robots that could go into the body and help fix the body. That was what I was interested in. It turns out that you can't trust me to do math in my head. And there are a couple of kinds of math that gets really out there that I just couldn't get past. So I've taken a lot of math classes. I understand what she is saying. I understand what she is doing. What she's doing is not pure math. What she is doing is logic. I only had one class in logic. I did not enjoy logic. I did well in logic, but I didn't enjoy logic. But it is one of those ways. And that's, we have deductive reasoning and inductive reasoning. And, Spirit can only do one of them. Spirit can't start. Spirit knows the end game. Always. Spirit knows the end game. So it's going to reason from here down into. We can make wild leaps with little to no information. So if we want our treatments and our manifestations to work the best, we need to go back and do it the way God does it. We want to start with the end in mind and then work our way to it. It's like, what steps do I need to take to get the end that I have in mind? All right. That's, and then remember that whatever it is that we are chasing materially, what we really want is the feeling. Which is why Jesse always asks the question, are you willing to have the feeling without having the material object? So, I'm just going to tell you, this particular one is over my head. This particular one is over my head because she is using that reasoning, that logic reasoning, to remind us that the first cause, the first principle, God, doesn't change. There is nothing that we can do that will change God. There is nothing that we can do that will change the divine source. So, we always go back to that unchanging source where nothing has ever been wrong to start. Start there. And work in the way that God works, the divine works, the way the source, and you will never fail. You will never fail. Just because I was working on a project where I was taking Jesse's questions out, he had that one question, does treatment always work? And that's what he said. He said, I've never seen anybody do a treatment and their life got worse. It may not have gotten better, but it never got worse. And frequently what it was is that they learned why it didn't get better. They at least get the reasons why it didn't get better. So when you go into your treatment work, remember that you are going back to first cause. You are going back to the unchanging God. You are going to the divine where nothing has ever been wrong. Where God doesn't see problems. God only knows solutions. And then you can work when you work from that, you will inevitably be successful. It may take a little bit longer. We're human. Every now and again we think we know better, so we get in our own way. And that's part of the learning process. It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes, as long as you learn from them. So, yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely throwing in the towel on this one. I'm throwing in the towel on this one and telling Malinda Cramer, you know what? You are playing hardball metaphysics. I got a few years to go before I can keep up with you. So this one, I think I'm going to keep on the back burner and maybe come back to after I've done a little more studying, especially since I want to go back to inductive and deductive reasoning, because that's what she's using, and I get them confused. So yeah, I think that's what she's talking about. If we would use the type of reasoning that Spirit always uses, then we can't fail. So, all right. Okay. Oh, so the mission, should we choose to accept it, is in that very last line. It's in that very last line. We shall work in unison with God and work as the all works. That's the mission. That is the mission all the time. If we want to be successful in spiritual mind treatment, then we want to do it in alignment with the nature of the divine. That is the only way it works. Okay? We can't ask for things that are out of alignment with the divine, because not only will we not get what we're asking for, what we are asking for is going to go sideways, and we're going to get something weird. Okay? So that is the mission every day, to work in alignment with God. Once we come into alignment with the divine, and that's part of what spiritual mind treatment is. Spiritual mind treatment does not change God. What it does is it brings us into alignment with the divine. Do I need to say that again? Prayer, spiritual mind treatment, whatever you want to call it, does not change God. It changes the prayer, the treater. It brings us who are doing them into alignment with the divine. That is a mic drop moment and walk away. That's your mission today. Should you choose to accept it? Should we choose to accept it? The other mission is to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. And reading logic on a Monday morning may not be the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I can do for myself. But hey, you know what? I came into it with a good mood, and I'm walking out of it with a good mood. It is good. Sometimes the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I can do for myself is to challenge myself. And to say, okay, you know what? I kind of see where she's going, but I don't get it. I'm going to work on this. You know how I talk about the comfort zone? Because I say no is a complete, sometimes the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do is say no. And no is a complete sentence. But then I also say occasionally the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do for yourself is say yes. Especially if it pushes you a little out of your comfort zone. Well, the reason I say that is because because Malinda Cramer today, this is outside of my comfort zone. Like science of mind, I got a big comfort zone when it comes to science of mind, and she just pushed me out of it. And I'm saying yes, because I think that there's something there, and I want to figure it out. Not right now, because I'm going to get ready to go to work. But that's one I want to leave on my back burner and come back to and go, you know what? There's something here that I'm not quite grasping. I may even send it to Jessie and say, hey, tell me what you think she's talking about here. Because I'm like, ah! And that, the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing I can do for myself is to ask for help. I have all the other suggestions. Take a walk, take a nap, take a break, take a deep breath before you speak. But occasionally, sometimes the most loving, kind, and compassionate thing you can do is ask for help. And Jesse may email me back and go, yeah, I got nothing. I'm sure he'll have thoughts, just like I had thoughts, So I'm curious. I'll let you know. All right. Let's see, where was I? I just said my suggestions. Take a deep breath before you speak. Take a walk, take a nap, take a break. I'm going to remind you about the eating dessert first. It's taken about a month, and I've rearranged my diet. I'm doing a kind of a gut reset diet, so I'm off gluten, sugar, and dairy. I tell you what, they had king cake at Center yesterday. I didn't miss it. They had cheese yesterday. I didn't miss it. I did miss, there were 2 types of deviled eggs, and one of them I decided to opt out of because with the one deviled egg, I was like, she used barbecue sauce. And you know how much sugar's in barbecue sauce. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll stick with the other one. So that I missed a little bit. But I realized that I really miss chocolate. Of all of the things, I miss chocolate. Well, there's this great brand called Lily's who uses stevia. No sugar added. Yes. So my dear sweet partner brought me 4 bars home, or 3 bars home. And just a little bit, it helped. It helped a whole lot. So, love, kindness, compassion. All right. Eat dessert first. Just find a no sugar added dessert, right? Okay. But it also means don't save the good stuff. So while I am doing this 2-month gut reset, I'm not gonna deny myself things that are, if I can find a workaround, and I'm not cheating. It's, chocolate is not off the table. Sugar is. And you don't need sugar to have good chocolate. So you can figure it out. All right. The other thing is joy. And believe me, that chocolate brought me joy last night. No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is going on in your life, you still deserve joy. It is a quality of God, therefore it is a quality of you. Please make room for it. All right? And then you can also look over at the cat who's, upside down and with his limbs askew. That's joy also. All right, beloveds, I need to wrap this up and move on. Okay. So the rest of the rest of the suggestions are to do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Don't let a little miss stop you from going for a walk. Get that, drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better, your body works better, and your skin looks better. Get that early morning light, because it was unexpectedly damp. Leaning into the artificial light here. And if that's out of your schedule, then please, consider Googling sun lamp or seasonal affect disorder lamp. They should not be expensive. Don't spend a lot of money on them, but they can definitely help because they support your circadian rhythm. They also support your vitamin D levels. So get that early in your day bright light. It'll help reset those circadian rhythms. And then I'm at Ernest Holmes. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you do live in heaven. Right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. That quote reminds me of 2 things. It's all God. We're all made from the same stuff. Like if you break us down to our most basic physics, molecules, atoms, electrons, neutrons, positrons, quarks, photons. It's all God. It's all God. And that should rock us back on our heels and make us look at the world differently. And then the follow-up to that is going to be heaven isn't a place. It's, as Ernest said, it's not a locality. It is not a place we have to get to. It's a mindset. It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Once we learn to create that, any place can become heaven. And you know those people. You've got them in your life. Go learn their secrets. Go learn their secrets. Because I'm sure anybody who walks around in a heavenly mindset is more than willing to share. They want everybody to be able to do that. All right. So, and one of the fastest steps that you can take, the easiest steps you can take, is Emma Curtis Hopkins, look for the good and praise it. It's a fancy way of saying count your blessings. Okay. Look for the little goods. Like I said, like I've been saying, write down, if you need to jumpstart your morning or to get a good night's sleep, or you can do it both times. That's up to you. Write down 3 things that are good and don't repeat them for a week. And if you can, possibly don't repeat them for a month. Okay. And then at the end of the month, you'll have all of this good written down and you're like, all right then. So, the cat just bolted out of here because I think he thinks that one of the other cats is getting something and he wants to make sure he's not missing out. All right. Yep. So now I'm in the social media. We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. We were treated to this wonderful poem yesterday. And so I broke that out of the service and put it up separately across all 3 of the social medias. So you can hear it. We have this wonderful poet and she writes her own material. She also does the inner healing experience first thing. So, you know her name, you know her face, you know her voice. It's a beautiful poem. Go listen to it. So like I said, it's on all 3 of the social medias. And of course, all 3 of the social medias freaked out because the title of the poem is respirational. It's not a word, but it is now. All right, beloveds. If you want to know what's going on with the center, email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. So, yep, check that out. Where was I? I don't know. But I guess it's time where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. Challenge yourself day. A get your week started on the right foot day. A go dance in the damp day. A you got this day. A loving day, a kind day, a compassionate day. I did say challenge yourself day, a ask somebody for help day if you need it, or help somebody day, or a good day, or if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God, or as one of our authors put it, you are a beloved expression of the divine. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you're a godling. This is where I want to remind you, and I usually do, to explore the truth of your being. Peel back the layers of everything that you've been told and get to know who God knows you to be. Get to know that divine expression that you are. Peel back the layers of everything that you have been told by anybody and everybody. Go to the source of your own being regularly. All right? Get to know the source of your own being. Because I can promise you one thing. The source of your own being knows you to be good. And that's it. That is it. And if you start there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Yep, I'm going to toddle off to work now. So I'm going to remind you, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. I will see you next time.